So, I see you clicked on this video. Interested, are you? So, I want to tell you many things on the corn stuff, on the corn industry, because as someone that like watches adult content, sometimes it's like kind of not good, especially when you're young. Um, you start to like manifest ideas about how women work when they're really not like that, when some probably are, given the fact that they probably never had a dad. But and regardless of all that, I will say that it's kind of just bad because let's just say you're a woman, right? And 10 years later in the future, you regret doing what you did, and then now you can't really change it, and that's pretty much your life, right? So it's like kind of a messed up scenario for the women too, not just for the man, because when you release semen retention, you get post traumatic stress disorder, or not that, but what you call it is like post nut clarity. You get that. Um, and honestly, sometimes post nut clarity is not fun because you kind of just regret it, and you're like, damn, like you could have just had a conversation with a girl normally and just date her, like over time or whatnot, like a normal person, or maybe if you were the other type of person to be like the funny guy or be more interested and be like more loud, you guys get to it real quick. It really depends on what type of chemistry between the two of you. I prefer something like that over like the industry of like trying to beat your meat and jerking that shit, because it's honestly not that fun. Because, like I said, post nut clarity is not like, goddamn, you ever just feel like you just like go through a tunnel vision and you're like, damn, because like as a kid, post nut clarity feels really bad, uh because due to how you're a kid and you're not really old enough to manifest this, but when you're older, it's like you barely even realize post nut clarity unless you hold semen retention. So it really depends on the psychology and the chemistry of your brain and on how long you hold it in. And goddamn, I will say it's kind of really just fucked up on how the industry of adult content works. Because in every other way, I talk about like how it should be banned in every other country. Like, if anyone's recording during the due diligence, then they should be definitely criminalized, because that should just not be in the internet at all, right? Because anyone can find it accessible, and now believe it or not, the kids today are changing because of how it's more accessible to them. And that's why it's like a bit messed up, because a lot of people don't really realize. Because I don't know when you got your first phone. I got my first phone when I was like in middle school, due to the fact because in Florida, a lot of shootings happen, a lot of stuff happens. So I kind of have to have a phone on me at all times whenever I'm alone. So it's due to facts like that. But then when you have too much accessibility, it's like it kind of like changes your mind. And I like to say that, knowing too much is bad, or too much of anything is bad. And that's 100% true, because once you manifest something and you're too far off the grid, you got like attack stats, but you don't got the defense stats. You know what I mean? Like, you got to like spend your stats on all the other stats, your points. And so that's how I feel about all this, because it's like some people really don't know where to spend their points, their time on what they want to do. So they look for a real quick fix. And honestly, I don't blame them, because we do live in an era where most people just don't have any sort of like longevity to things of like waiting things out, so they have the accessibility of getting things much more quicker. And it kind of changes your mind because before then, when we were in the cave ages, the stone ages, my bad, we used to look for things. Things weren't already there. We looked for things. And our fathers would teach us that. Our great grandfathers would teach our fathers, and so on and so forth. And it used to be very ancient, very special, very like amazing. But nowadays, like that information can just be easily passed by through like a video or a clip. So it's like it barely even matters anymore to like semen retention span. So it's like it really depends on your lifestyle, on whether or not you want to like hold retention and maybe do something with your life, because retention does kind of build a motivation to you. So it's like, you know, um, a real good buff, I'll say that for sure. Especially in fighting, when you have semen in you, like you become a lot more powerful. So it's like semen retention or holding your semen is like really good, but like releasing it is a real negative in every way, especially if you're trying to bust it like every 6, 7 hours. Like, come on now. So that's why I feel like people got to learn how to control themselves and not really beat their meats and do it all the time, because it kind of just messes with your mind. And I truly believe in that because, I've been in a point in my life where I went through like really bad addictions, and, I'm just trying to pull myself out of these addictions somehow. And this is the only way I can do it, by sharing information to anyone that wants to hear information. So, I love to hear from y'all and stuff like that. But yeah, that's about it for this video. My pretty much plot to this is hold your semen and do not leave it. I was trying to rhyme that, but nah, never mind. I fucked that up. I butchered it. All right, I'll see y'all in the next one. Deuce.